Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. My name's Teresa and I'm the Car Boot Crafter, and I'm coming on today with a one sheet wonder Christmas card making project. Now this is a standalone one sheet wonder that you can do to make your own Christmas cards, or in this case the measurements I've done specifically relate to the box that I've created for the card making kits that I'm giving to some friends at Christmas. Now this project has been going all week, so this is either a standalone video if you just want to make the cards, or if you want to make the card making kit, then it's part of that series as well. So you need to start off with one piece of 12 by 12 paper. So this sheet I've chosen it because it's not particularly directional. You know, I can have it any direction and it still works. Perhaps not upside down like that, but every other orientation works with it. And it comes from the North Pole Do Craft collection, which I picked up from the works for £2 last year. A lovely set, actually. I really liked that. So let me show you the cutting. So you'll need your trimmer or a ruler and knife or scissors, and then so the first cut is at 5.5, so popping it in to the 5.5 mark and make your first cut. I'm going to pop that to one side. Then moving along, we're going to cut this again at 4 inches. Okay, so 4 inches. And I'm going to move the largest one to one side, and I'm going to work with the narrowest one. Now this is 2.5 inches in width, so I'm going to cut my squares now at 2.5 inches, and I'll get 4 squares out of this. So 2.5, 2.5, number 3 at 2.5, and then last one at 2.5 again. So that leaves me with a tiny bit of waste, which I will put to one side, and I'll probably use that to make a tag or something later on. Then I'm going to bring in that 4-inch wide strip, pop that in my trimmer, and I'm going to cut this at 2.5. I've kept the measurements as simple as possible, really, just because, well, it makes life easier for me, and I am going to be making 3 or maybe even 4 of these sets for friends and family that, like I say, enjoy making Christmas cards this time of year, but don't really do an awful lot of crafting the rest of the year round. So I thought it'd be a nice Christmas present for them. So we get 4 pieces that are 4 inches in length and 2.5 inches in width, and we get a nice size piece that actually we could use that if we wanted, or I'm going to pop it to one side and use that as for a tag. So I'm bringing my largest piece and thread that through, and this is going to be cut at 2 inches. So I should get 6 of these. So in total I have enough for 14 cards, which is enough for me to be getting on with, and I'm sure enough for the friends and family that I'm gifting these to. So I'll show you the rest of the things that you'll need. So I'll pop that away. So you will also need your card bases. So in this case, my card bases I'm using, because I think it goes really well with that paper, I'm using some craft card, but use whatever you like, whatever's to hand. So this is 11 inches by 4 inches in width, and you can get 2 of these out of one sheet of A4 card. And all you have to do is score it in half at the 5.5 mark, or just fold it in half, and you've got your card base. And you'll need 10 of those. The other card bases are these ones, which, if I open that out, so that's 6 inches by 3 inches across. Again, fold it, score it at 3 inches and fold it in half, or just fold it in half like that. Okay, the next thing you'll need is, and in this case I'm using black, but use whatever you feel matches your papers and your base card. So I'm using black cards, so these are, you'll need 6 of these at 5.5 by 2 1/4. You'll need 4 of these at 4 inches by 2 3/4, and you'll need 4 of these which are square at 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. I will put the centimetres in the description box below, as I will with all the measurements, so it'll be in inches and in centimetres. Now I'm just going to put one each together. I'm not going to do the whole lot because, as I say, this is for a card making kit. But if this is for your own Christmas cards, then feel free to do all of them. So I'm going to start off with my square ones, and I'll talk about the toppers as we go along. So the square ones, you're going to take one of your square pieces of black card. So this is the 2 3/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to just put some glue, oops, on the back of that, and then we'll glue it onto the base card. Nice and simple. So what I like about these one sheet wonders is they're very simple to put together. So there's that, and then I'm taking one of my square pieces of paper, so this is 2.5 by 2.5. Again, I'm going to just put some glue on the back and glue that together. What you can do with this one, because it's square, is think about the orientation. So do you want it as a tent fold, or do you want it as a regular fold? I'm going to use it as a regular fold, so I'm just looking at the orientation of my papers, and I'm just going to pop it on like that. So that's that one done. Not quite finished. I'm going to put my topper on, but I'll talk you through that in a minute. Then I'm going to take these two. Now these are the same card bases, but the cards themselves will be slightly different. So let me move the square ones away. So we will have one of these pieces which are 4 by 2 3/4, and on the other one we will have a piece that is 5.5 by 2 3/4, and that's the orientation that you're going to put them on your card. And then let me grab the glue and I'll just show you. Now the thing to think about with this is, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do them, but as long as you're putting them on the same orientation, you can put them wherever you like. So I'm going to, so this is a regular opening card like that. So I'm going to pop it on here like that. If you want to, you can put it straight in the middle, or you could put it at this end. It's entirely up to you. It just gives you a little bit more freedom. Then I'm taking my piece of one sheet wonder paper that I've used, and I'm going to glue that on as well. So this is the card that is the paper that is 4 inches by 2.5. There we go, and that is the orientation for that card. And then this one, which is going to be a tent fold card, or if you want to, you can use it as a gatefold if you've turned it that way and had your papers. Let me just grab my papers. I could use it that way and open it like that, but I'm going to use this as a tent fold. So let me just pop that to one side, and then I'll glue this down, and then I'm going to talk to you about the toppers and what I've used. These, you can use whatever toppers you want, even if you've got some nice toppers that you've already got that have a nice measurement that's going to fit on here. You could use those, or if you like me, I've made my own. So let me just talk you through that. As I say, again, it's entirely up to you. If you have a paper collection that that has some really nice cutter parts in that, you could use those. But with this collection, let me just grab my cutter part, my toppers. I've used these ones. So I've got 4 of these rather small ones, and I've got 10 of these larger ones. Let me talk you through how I've created them. So I've used these dies, which you can easily get from the works. So I picked these up. These ones were £3, these ones were 6, and I found through playing around with them that they nestle quite nicely. So for this one, I've used the largest die to cut out the black card, and then I've used the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th one down, so this one here, to create the white on the inside, and then I've just used one of my stamps to stamp on there to create this Joy to the World topper. So these then go on here like that, and on this one like that. I am going to get some oh, what do you call it, foam pads, and raise them up a little bit. So let me just grab those. So these are just the Poundland ones. So turn it over, pop on 4 of them, because it's a nice shape. It's not too big that you need loads, and just big enough that you could, the 4 of them can cope quite well with sticking these down. So raise them up just to give them a little bit of interest on here. So that one, just checking which way it opens. So that one I'm going to pop in the middle. I'm going to turn it around so I can see what I'm doing. So that one will go there like that. And you can bling them up or sequins, whatever you want to do. I was thinking maybe of inking them a little bit, just so that they blend even better in with the papers. Just never got around to doing it before I came and recorded this. So as I say, this is part of the collection that's going to go into a card making gift set to some friends. So what I might do is put one of those small ink pads in with a little blender, so that they can do it themselves. So I'm going to pop that one on there. Again, I'm going to turn that round and double check like that. Move that over slightly more. There we go. So there we have those 2. Now to create the little ones, again I use the same die set. So the little one, as you can see, is the 3rd one down. So 1, 2, 3, 3rd one in, created the black card, and then the white was the last but one. So this one, not the tiniest one, the next one up from it, created the white topper. Again, I think I'm going to put an ink pad in with the gift set so that they can ink them up themselves and create some nice blending. And if you're watching if you're watching this video, then and you've received one of these from me, then enjoy and blend. And this then goes right in the middle of that, like that. Although again, if you want to put it slightly to one side or in the top or the bottom, it's entirely up to them to do. So that's making the cards. The rest of these will go into the card making kit. Although if you're making them up, then carry on making them as you will. And let's talk about envelopes. So I'm going to pop these ones that I've made up and pop them to one side and bring in my envelopes. Now I'm not making envelopes for the small ones because I see them more as tags than cards itself. So I'll just pop them to one side and I'll talk about envelopes. So you'll need a piece of thin, this is really nice paper, but it's quite thin, and it is 7 7/8 by 7 7/8, and then you punch at 3 3/8 all the way, not all the way around, but that's how you start off, isn't it? So let's grab my punch board. So you pop that in at 3 3/8, and you stop that way, sorry, 3 3/8, and you do your first punch and you do your score line as you would normally. If you haven't got one of these, what you can do is measure along from one end or the other. It doesn't matter which way you start, from one end or the other. Measure along using your ruler to 7 3/8, like that. Then get a pen or a pencil and make a mark at the 7 3/8, and then getting your scissors, you then cut your notch down. Now if you've come in this way at 7 3/8, you then come in this way at 7 3/8 and do exactly the same here. Then flip over to this corner and then measure 7 3/8 here, and again 7 3/8 here, and draw a score line between the two on that orientation. So you end up with a score line there and a score line there. That then gives you your next point then for a score line across here, like that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I might do a video on that. But if you are using your punch board, again, like I said, 7 3/8, do your punch, do your score line, turn it round, marry your score line up with your pointer. Another, I need one anyway to finish, and you'll need 10 of these to go with your larger cards. Not that I'm thinking of the little ones as being more tags than cards. So pop that there, and those can go in the bin. And then bring that up. Oh, almost forgot. This one has a nice corner rounder there. So I'm just going to corner round all of those like that before then folding. So I'm going to I haven't done it on the first few that I've made, but I think I'm going to do it on the next set that I make. Is I'll make them, fold them over, but I won't glue them down. I'll leave that for my friends to do themselves, but fold them over, and then I'll glue this one down as it goes. So I'll use a rubber to rub that out. So some glue, partially up the sides like that. I always put a little bit on those as well. Bring that over. If you've got one of these scoring envelope card making kits, then you know how to make your envelope. So you only really need my my measurements in terms of how to make your card. So there's my envelope. As I say, the next ones I will leave them unglued. So you need 10 of those for your larger cards. So these fit neatly into there, like that. And then you've got your card kit and your one sheet wonder ready to go. Oh, now I do just remember I forgot about inserts. Now I did promise whenever I was making cards I would always talk about inserts. So let me just see where I pop them. Right, okay, so for these cards you will need 10 pieces of insert paper, so you can use copy paper in this case because it's Christmas, and because these are a gift for someone to make up. I've used some really nice smooth white paper, heavyweight paper, so it's not too thin as copy paper, but that's 5 1/4 by 3 3/4, and all of the pages are the same size. It's just that you'll need 6 on that orientation for those ones, and you'll need 4 on that orientation for those ones. So I'm just going to pop them in. As I said, I wanted to make the cards up so that we had examples of the cards. I do like to just pop a little bit at the top and then glue it in like that, so that we have that nice orientation. There we go. So that we've still got a bit of movement when it's opened, but it goes like that. And then this one I'm going to glue in exactly the same by gluing across the top of that card. So I've glued across there. Open that up, and I'm going to pop that in like that. There we go. So I've got a little bit of movement there. So that's those two done. And with this one, I've got square paper, same papers, nice smooth papers. I haven't got my stamp yet, so I'm going to put a to and a from on that. But that again, I'm just going to go down the one side like that and pop that in there so that it lines up square like that. Push that down, and then we've got our inserts in all 3 styles of card. So I really like the look of these, even with the white, and I might, like I say, I might blend those up before I give them out, but again I think I'm going to put an ink pad in and let them do themselves. So I hope you enjoyed that. These will now fit into my suitcase, and I'll do one more video which is going to be very short, just showing how all of these fit together. So if you just want to make it as a one sheet wonder, please feel free. If you are making the suitcase gift sets, then look out for the last video, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.